Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Let's now take you back to our top story and get the very latest in the Democratic Republic of Congo fighting. We're now joined by the DRC's Minister of Communication, Mr. Patrick Muyaya Katembwe. Minister, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. We have seen over the past few weeks how this conflict has led to further escalation in terms of violence, leading to more deaths, including 13 South African National Defence Force members, of course, hundreds of thousands of people joining the millions of others that have already been displaced and had to flee their homes. Let's first get your context from this conflict, notwithstanding, of course, the complexity of the matter. Briefly explain the cause of this conflict.
Thank you so much. First, we would like to express our condolences to the South African Republic because of your soldier who passed away here in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We would like to express our gratitude to President Ramaphosa and all the people from South Africa for the continuing support since the beginning of this conflict. If I have to speak briefly about this conflict, the main reason is that the President Kagame for the past 30 years used eastern part of DRC as the place he can bring trouble, so he can make sure he's controlling mineral resources, which is used to build his economy in Rwanda. That's the first reason. The second reason, the President Kagame used a lot of pretext, saying that in Democratic Republic of Congo, we are doing what we can call cleansing, ethnic cleansing, especially against Tutsi. He seems to be the protector of this community by killing others' community. What we can say on that in DRC, we don't have any kind of hate speech. We are a country with more than 450 tribes. We speak different language, and we all are united behind the president. And we know the way we share our values. In DRC, there is no discrimination. Just to give you an example, we have the infrastructure minister is a Tutsi, and a lot of top generals are from this community. This is just the pretext the President Kagame been using for years. The second pretext he's been using was in DRC, we have what we call FDLR. Just to give you the context, in 1994, after the genocide, the international community requested the government of Zaire at that moment to host refugees. We received more than 1 million people fleeing from Rwanda because of the conflict, and some of them come 31 years later with weapons, etc. They've been the soldier of the President Habyarimana. Since that period, the President Kagame started to use that reason to come to do what he's doing in the eastern part of DRC. We've been fighting them. We fought them with the president during the President Kabila's period, for instance, during the President Tshisekedi, for instance. So we know both intelligence in different countries. We've been working to tackle this threat, which is really not, because the President Kagame has to remind himself that those FDLR are first Rwanda. They deserve to live in their country. But is the pretext he keeps using to attack eastern part of DRC. That's the same. He's been saying that in DRC, there is, in Rwanda, there is Congolese refugees for years, and DRC should take back those refugees here in DRC. What you have to know on that question first, that there is more Rwandan refugees in DRC than DRC Congolese refugees in Rwanda. Even on that question, we've been around the High Commissioner for Refugees in Geneva to set the plan to solve the issue. And if I have to come back from what we have seen in the past days, on December 15, around the President Lorenzo, we should be finished with the reason of this conflict. But the President Kagame chose to
Minister, I want to get to a number of other questions very quickly, particularly since you've mentioned President Kagame just recently, his statement, which was very scathing in his remarks about how the DRC has handled this decades-long conflict, essentially accusing President Tshisekedi of choosing to resolve people's concerns militarily instead of engaging with them, essentially blaming him for the ongoing humanitarian crisis. I hope you can still hear me, Minister. and the escalation of violence. What will it take for President Tshisekedi and President Kagame to agree and to meet with the aim of finding a lasting solution here? Unfortunately, it seems like the minister is frozen. Of course, that was the DRC's Minister of Communications, Patrick Muyaya Katembwe. Of course, we will try and see if we can get him back to also respond to those statements that were made recently by President Kagame of Rwanda. Of course, as you know, the escalation continues in the DRC, in the eastern parts of the DRC. We also understand, of course, that the M23 rebels who had taken over Goma, have now since moved further south in the view of expanding that territory. There's also been criticism on the South African government in terms of how it has also handled this particular matter. We spoke earlier to an analyst suggesting perhaps South Africa sit down on this for a while as those talks to de-escalate the violence continue.